Hey, everybody, and welcome to episode number 267 of the Chris Rose Rotation, a production of John Boy Media. Well, this guy has had a huge life change since the last time we checked in with him in September, I think it was. What's up, Papa Logan Webb? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Haven't shaved or gotten a haircut in a while, but full-blown dad mode.
Yeah, let's see it. Let's see the lettuce.
It's all right. No, I can't take the hat off. It's too much right now.
Man.
It's getting long. My wife's had to get a haircut for like 3 weeks now, so I'm gonna have to go do that here soon, especially for Christmas.
Okay, well, let's introduce the young lady of the household to everybody out there. We've got some photos, so tell us all about her.
She's amazing. She's 2 months. A couple days ago, she was born on October 9th. It's been great. There she is. She's starting to smile more and starting to make all sorts of noises. It's amazing. Honestly, just a true blessing. It's great.
All right, so is it Mila or Mila?
Mila.
Okay. How do we come up with the name, out of curiosity?
We had looked at a bunch of different names and had some boy names picked out, had some girl names picked out, and that's the one that just kept coming up. We just liked it a lot. I first heard it, I thought of like Mila Kunis, right? And I think I think she's, I don't think she's Spanish. I don't know, but anyways, looked up the name and it was actually a Spanish name, and my wife has a lot of Spanish in her.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you can't really tell, but I actually have a decent amount of Spanish and Portuguese in me. So we just thought, you know what? We like the name a lot. It kind of goes with it, and kind of stuck with it. So, yeah, I think from the get-go, that was one of the names that stuck out.
Awesome. All right, so did you cut the cord, the whole bit?
Oh, yeah, whole thing. Saw the whole thing. It's intense.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's
That's
great.
Awesome.
I honestly, at first, my wife was like, "You got to do it," and I'm like, I don't know. I had a teammate actually pass out doing it, so I was like, I don't know if I can do it. And once you get in there, though, you're like, oh man, I can do this. You're ready for it. It was exciting. It was awesome.
Wait a second, who passed out?
It was Patrick Bailey.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's too proud of that, so I don't know. But yes, he did. He just had another one too, so I don't know if he was in there for that one. I haven't.
Smelling salts for number 2. You know what? That's awesome. I always say experience everything. Like I've heard of dads, for whatever reason, that don't want to change like poopy diapers and stuff. Dude, this is your child.
You want to do it. I mean, I at least, like, for me, I want to do it all. I want to do everything. I think it's awesome. It is. Okay. It's your kid. Like you said, it's your child. It's your kid.
There's nothing you won't do for your child. It's that simple. You're always going to be there for her, and that's all that matters. Good, bad, indifferent, it's all awesome. What is the most surprising thing you have found out, Papa?
I mean, it's not surprising because I knew I was going into it. It was going to be like this, but a little bit of the sleep stuff is
it's tough.
It's tough. It's not great. And then just realizing, like, you just can't, like, there's no time anymore to sit down and watch TV. Like, it might be on in the background or something, but you're constantly on call, which is, I mean, it's great. Like, I do miss laying around sometimes, just turning on a movie, but not anymore.
Forget it. It's over. There's a lot of walks where you take her outside, get her the fresh air, make her sleep. That's good. And you're like, oh my God, this is great. We'll take her home. She'll sleep for 90 minutes. And then she gets in the house. They know, because they start yelling and screaming. And you're like, wait a second. We were just outside pushing the carriage and you were sleeping. What are you doing?
No, she's wide awake.
Mm-hmm.
Pissed. And you don't know why.
Is this the first grandchild on both
Yeah,
sides?
yeah. They whole family came down for Thanksgiving, and it was actually a nice little break because I felt like I didn't have to do
Right.
much because he had the aunts, had the grandparents all in town. Great grandparents were in town, so
Mm.
they all wanted to hold her at all times.
And the grandmas that are roommates?
One of them was here. One of them was back at home with some of our other family members. But yeah, it was kind of tough. We didn't get to go home and see some of our family, but kind of said, hey, left it open for, hey, we got a 1 month old. I think you guys should come here. I don't think we can do all this year. So I hosted, made my first turkey.
Mm.
It was exciting. I did all right. I smoked it. Did all right.
Okay. Tender enough?
Yeah, it was great. I was
Okay.
worried. I mean, it's a process, but once you get it on, though, you're just kind of every once in a while I'll get to put all the stuff on it and make sure you're spraying it. And that's easy. That's the easy stuff.
Yeah. Well, listen, man, we appreciate you taking some time because I do know I remember it. I know it's been 18 years since I've had a baby in the
Yeah.
house, but man, I do remember some of that stuff. And by the way, I'm just going to let you know this. This will be my fatherly advice.
All right.
Even when they start sleeping, you'll never get full sleep ever again. Like my boys are 24 and 19, and I'm still checking the phones to see where they are, if they're out late. Like, there's nothing I should do, can do. They're adults, the whole bit, but the worries change is all I'm telling you.
I think I mean, as your kids get older too, my dad still does that with me. I'm 28. My dad still does that with me. I don't think it'll ever change.
Right.
But like we got our locations kind of locked in together, so he'll text me every once in a while. He's like, "What are you doing at the park?" Or, he's playing fetch with my dog or something, and he knows exactly where it's at. I'm like, dude, first of all, you're a stalker. Second of all, but he's just always checking on me. It's cool. I wouldn't have it any other way.
You're not throwing yet, are you?
Playing catch. I don't throw until end of December off the mound, but I've been playing catch since November 4th, I think it was.
Okay. But are you able to, like, work out? Do you have the energy to do everything you got to do, or are you just like, oh my God, this
To
is
be
rough?
to be honest, I will say coffee is. I've always
Oh,
liked coffee. I like coffee even more now. Pre-workout is a friend of mine as well, and obviously Red Bull. I love Red Bull, so it's. But those things are all great. I've been honestly, it's kind of crazy to think about. I feel like I talk to some guys, and it's kind of like the cliche answer, but they would always say like, oh, once you have a kid, you're like even more motivated and you want to do even more. And I was like, yeah, whatever. Like I'm gonna be exhausted, and it's honestly true. Like I am even more motivated now, so it's really cool. It's like can't really explain it. I don't even, it's just the workouts have been great. I mean, I feel like I get more stuff done now just because I feel like I have to, but in a good way. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's exciting. I'm excited. Feel great. Working out. Feel like I'm getting a little skinnier. I was packing on a couple pounds at the end of the season. So feeling good.
okay, good.
Yeah.
Maybe you can teach me how to lose a few of those pounds because whatever you lost, I think I found. So, shame on me.
Woo-wee! Grab your favorite team's jersey and some snacks and head to the couch for another Sunday of action-packed football and get even closer to the action each Sunday with our partners at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Right now, all new customers who bet just $5 will get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins when you use promo code ROSE. And don't forget to stay in on the action and use your $150 bonus bets on the DraftKings Same Game Parlays, SGPs, for a shot at an even bigger payout. So download DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code ROSE. That's promo code ROSE only at the DraftKings Sportsbook.
All right. Truth be told, we are recording this on a Thursday night. This is the day that Willy Adames officially became your teammate. First of all, let's give you a little taste of his press conference. Not sure if you had a chance to watch it earlier today, but here's what he had to say.
And, hopefully we can win a few championships like you did. And that's one of the main reasons I'm here.
Yeah, that's just a little clip where he was talking to Buster Posey, the man who convinced him to come out west. When you found out that he was signing on the dotted line, your reaction was?
Oh, super excited. Willy's a guy that, I've played against him a lot. He's done well against me. He's one of those guys that's like it's a tough out, and he's hit like 2 homers against me in spring, 2 homers in the regular season. It's just kind of, and he's just a guy like you watch him play, and there is energy that he brings. Like he's a presence on the field, in the batter's box, and you watch him in the dugout. He's always the one standing up and cheering the guys on the most. And I probably the first time I played him, I was like, man, that's a guy I want to play with at some point. And I've kind of messed, like, walking around the field or something. I've said it before, like, hey, you're gonna come play for us at some point, and he kind of jokes, yeah, always, guys, they got to say yes, right? So, but I'm just happy that it happened. I know, I think one of the coolest things was like Buster came out and just said, hey, we're trying to get a shortstop, and he got the best one. So, I'm excited. I know Chappie's super excited. All the guys are super excited. It's going to be, that left side of the infield it's got to be one of the best in baseball. So as a pitcher, as a ground ball guy, I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, you should be. There's no question. And there are some that will complain. Listen, he signed the richest deal in franchise history. That some people say, well, he's a guy, I think he's 29 years old, and at some point he might have to move off a shortstop and go to second base or whatever. That's fine, and maybe his defensive metrics went down a little bit. I personally think that even if his WAR declines, that the thing you mentioned where his leadership in the dugout and a guy who plays every day, that we haven't figured out how to put a number on that and a value on that. But as a guy who has at times come out and said, hey, listen, we need to kind of change things up here, I imagine that was a huge, huge thing for you.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that it's kind of, I don't think I've ever heard a bad thing said about Willy Adames. Like, he's one of those guys that every guy that plays with him, every coach that has coached him, every player that's just got to second base and had a conversation with him, like, there is not one bad thing that's been said. And I think that's just the guy he is, and that's what he's going to bring to, you look at these managers coming out and talking about him. I know Council said something, and, listening to them talk about the guy he was and the player he was, like, you don't hear that very often about a lot of guys. And I think Buster knows that. Buster was that guy. I played with Buster. Buster was that guy for us when I played, and I think he knows you need that in the clubhouse. So having him to go along with Chappie as well is it's going to be huge for us. I think we're all just very excited to get that guy. I don't think we're done. I don't know anything, so I can't give you anything. But I don't think we're done. I think Buster's Buster's not the type of guy to just. He wants to win. There's no, like, I don't think he would ever say the word. He does. It's probably not in his vocabulary, like rebuild or anything like that. Like, he wants to win the World Series every single year, and that's been the sentiment that's been told to me and Chappie and the other guys. And that's exciting. As a player, as a competitor, that's all you want to hear.
Well, you've told us that in off seasons past, you've been part of the recruiting process, that you've had meetings with guys. Obviously, that has changed because fatherhood is a more important calling than
I wasn't asked. They don't tell me anything, so maybe that's a good thing that I'm not involved. Maybe guys will say this because I'm not involved. So I didn't know about the Willy thing. I knew we were interested. I think the whole world knew we were interested, but I was talking to our pitching coach on the phone, kind of just shooting the shit, and got off the phone and saw that we'd signed Adames, and called him right back and said, "Holy shit, did you see that?" And so I really didn't know much about it, and I think hopefully there's more surprises coming.
Well, it's well known that you guys are in contention for Corbin Burnes. former Cy Young Award winner. When you sit here and you dream about a top of the rotation where it's you and him, I mean, how can you not get excited? Do you let yourself go there?
Of course I do. I mean, it's crazy. If he does come, the amount of stud pitchers that I've gotten to play with so far in my career, there's so many Cy Youngs, and it's actually pretty cool. But I think if there's one guy that we kind of complement, if Corbin goes out there and throws and I come and throw right after him the next day, like, I mean, it's kind of like, it's literally perfect. Like the way it's just so much, we're the complete opposite of pitchers. And I think that's a good thing. You don't want too many of the same guys. And it's almost like a perfect match, but I guess I don't make the decisions. I know Corbin a little bit, so I would be over the moon for sure if we got Corbin. I think that'd be a huge addition. Obviously, one of the best, if not the best, pitcher in baseball. So, adding a guy like that would be unbelievable.
Have you talked to him?
Maybe.
Well, I mean, geez, you're not the one signing the checks. There's no harm in at least saying that. Yeah. Hey, I mean,
he knows how I feel. He knows how I feel, and I know how he feels. So hopefully it happens. Hopefully, he ends up with San Francisco Giant. That'd be awesome.
Well, it is interesting because, and I want to get to the Juan Soto stuff. I'm not sure if you saw it from earlier on Thursday. There is a delicate balance when you're talking about free agency because it's guys' livelihoods. And first of all, can you tell us what happens during the year? The amount of pushback I got from fans where they say, well, the Yankees players knew exactly where Juan Soto stood. They probably talked about it during the year. Do you guys talk shop, talk business during a season when a guy's about to be a free agent? Like when Matt Chapman, he was in his walk year, right? This season, he could have opted out.
Yeah.
Did you talk to him during the year about that, or do you let him be because that's his business? It's not Logan Webb's business.
I mean, it's not like we talk about it every day, but when we, when it gets brought up, I think in the middle of the season, I think once, like, Chappie loves San Francisco, he loves the organization. You could tell he wanted to be there. He kind of embraced what we do as an organization. And I think at that point he was like, I want to be back here. So then we started talking about it for sure. Like he wants to come back and, and then it just kind of randomly one day kind of happened. I think they had been going back and forth and it got close. And I mean, this stuff it's honestly crazy how quick this stuff like kind of happens, and it just happened fast. And I mean, we do talk about it. I'm sure Juan talked about it with his teammates. It's not that I do think it is different once the guy gets to free agency. Like during the season is completely different. Like I talked to Blake about coming back. And I think he did. I at the end of the day, I don't really know for sure, but conversations that we had, I think he did. And there's always guys like I know Michael Conforto loved San Francisco and would have loved to come back. But once it starts, I think once free agency actually starts, you kind of just let them be. It's not that, I did talk to these guys during free agency. It's not, I would just ask them, maybe I'm different. Maybe I'm just the annoying teammate that they had that's saying, hey, where are you going? Hey, where are you going? I don't know. But I did see that he hadn't talked to any teammates since then. But maybe he asked guys not to talk to him during that process. I know Shohei's thing last year, right? Shohei didn't want any teams saying that they met with him. He wanted it to be a secret. I think there's some guys just have preferences on that. Obviously, everyone knew who Juan was meeting with, so it wasn't a secret with that. But yeah, to answer your question, I do think, I probably would have reached out, but I've never played with Juan. I don't know Juan, so I can't really talk. those guys.
Okay, so let's just clarify a few things. You talked to Blake while he was a free agent before he decided to sign with the Dodgers.
I did. I
Yeah.
I didn't know that he was going to go to the Dodgers. He didn't tell me that the Dodgers were talking to him, but I would talk to him every once in a while. We'd FaceTime each other, we'd talk to each other, but that was kind of earlier in the process, I think, before the playoffs even ended. I mean, Blake signed pretty quick, so but after that, kind of, it's weird, right? Baseball is all we talk about, but Blake's he's a dad too. He's got a young kid, so you kind of let guys be as well.
I get that. Did you reach out to him after he signed with the arch enemy?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm happy for Blake, man. Works his ass off. Great teammate. I'm super excited. I'm obviously not excited that he went there, but I don't know how you could turn down a $52 million signing bonus. So I'm not mad at him for that.
No. And so for people that did not hear Juan Soto's explanation about Robbie, I want you to play the little 20-second soundbite we've got here.
I haven't talked to any of those guys. Definitely, we talked to them through at the end of the playoffs, but after that, I make these processes. I haven't talked to any of those.
So he's talking about his former Yankees teammates. The thing to me that sounded strange, it was two things. One, let's start with this. Aaron Judge said during his receiving his MVP award, his second one, I believe a question was asked on MLB Network, hey, have you talked to Juan Soto? Like, he's a pretty big free agent. And Aaron said, listen, I went through this process a couple years ago. I'm letting him be. That's his business. It kind of surprised me that the captain of the Yankees didn't at least shoot him a text like, hey, man, I know there's a lot going on. Just want to let you know I'm here for you if you want to discuss anything. I don't know what their relationship is. I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's average. I don't know if it's bad. But if you're the captain of the Yankees, it just seemed a little strange to me that he didn't reach out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I'm not here to put you in a bad spot.
No,
but I have talked to a bunch of major leaguers who were like, this is weird.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the thing that might be weird to me is like if they didn't talk at all, I would say. Like, I've had teammates that I knew weren't going to come back, but I still talk to them, right? Like I still, text them or see how they're doing or just kind of anything, right? Like just like a friend texting a friend. So if that didn't happen, then yeah, I guess that's the weird part of it. But you never know what happens in a clubhouse or how guys are with each other. So I don't really know. I do think it is a little weird, but I'm not.
Yeah, you're not in it. You're not in the Yankees club.
Yeah,
every clubhouse is different.
And I know Aaron. Aaron's an awesome dude.
Right.
I got to be a part of the process where he came out and visited with us. What was that, 2022? And I texted the guy like once a day for like 2 weeks after he visited. Like, hey, so what are you thinking? Like, but that's me. I could be different. He could be different with how he does things. So, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It is, yeah, I guess if you look at it, yeah, it's a little weird.
Okay. Basically what we're learning is that Bill Belichick is not going to bring you to North Carolina staff to help recruit.
No.
That's what I've learned.
Yes.
You're off. Logan, you could go help the Tar Heel baseball team.
Yeah.
You are not here to help bring some 18-year-old kid to Chapel Hill. You're off limits. Forget it. You're out. The other thing was, if he hasn't heard from those guys since then, I don't know who that's on. But to me, like if somebody left my work and got a good job at Barstool, I'd be happy for him. And I'd shoot him a text or I'd give him a call and just say, hey, man, good luck. I think that's awesome. The fact he hasn't heard from anybody is alarming, and I don't know if it says more about Juan Soto or about the guys he left behind. It can't be that they're mad that he went to the Mets. That shit is that's all fan-driven. You guys are happy when you just mentioned it. You just mentioned it that you reached out to Blake Snell and he joined your arch rival. Like, that's the I think I'm sad, and I'm not trying to make it, look at what's going on here. I think I'm sad that there wasn't some sort of better relationship on both sides.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, the fans definitely try to make it more than it probably is. But at the end of the day, like for me with Blake, like Blake's a friend that I'm going to have for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I played with him for one season. So when I see a guy like that who's worked hard for a while now, he had a shitty free agency, experience last year, get paid what he deserves, like I'm going to be happy for him. Yeah. It's like I play for the Giants. I'm a fan of the Giants, right? I don't want him to be on the Dodgers, but it's not like I'm just going to not talk to him. I'm not going to just like when I walk by him next year at Dodger Stadium or Oracle Park, I'm not going to just like kind of flip him off or anything. Like,
Please he's still Could you just do it just for us? Just
I
joking,
will.
But act like you're mad.
I will, but I'm not actually mad. You know what I mean? Like I'm happy for the guy, and but it's and I'm sure Giants fans aren't going to like hearing me say that, and that's just kind of part of it. But at the end of the day, we're all, it's a baseball and sports in general. It's just a big fraternity, right? We're all part of it, and so I get excited when I see, guys sign elsewhere and guys get what they deserve. I was sad. The guy right here, I don't know if you can kind of see it, Kevin Gausman, right there. I was very sad when he signed with the Blue Jays. I wanted him to be a teammate for life, but it's not that I was mad at him. Lives out on the East Coast. It just made more sense for him, and I get that, and I'm not going to be mad at the guy. I still talk to him all the time. I root for him unless he's playing the Giants, right? But it kind of goes the same in that, like you said, it is weird. Like if no one has reached out and said like, congrats, like,
it's just sad more than anything else. I think that's what I've come to realize. I kind of posed the question on Twitter and some people fired back about, isn't that Aaron Judge's job? And maybe I was a little overstepping my bounds, but I was kind of curious about it.
Yeah, but going with that though, one of my favorite players, one of the guys I love, I've watched this whole documentary. I've seen everything. Do you think Derek Jeter would reach out to someone if he went to the Red Sox?
Okay, it's a great question. So did he?
I don't know if anyone left to go to the Red Sox, but
like there was like Ramiro Mendoza, who was like a swing pitcher, pretty decent pitcher on both teams.
He reached out and said, "Hey, congrats."
I mean, I don't know. No, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't know, but certainly nobody of this stature.
He made 765. Was it 765? $765 million. Like,
yeah. By the way, can we?
I almost want to reach out to Juan. I don't even know Juan. I would reach out to Juan and say, "Congrats, dude! Like, you make fucking crazy." You know what I mean? Like, but like I said, I don't. Maybe that's his duty as the captain of the Yankees. Is like, doesn't want to. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't. Maybe I'm doing it all wrong. Maybe I'm the one doing it wrong.
And I'm not saying he's doing it wrong. I just wanted to bring it up and get a pro baseball player's opinion on it.
Yeah, so. I mean, like I said, I'm one of the most competitive people I think out there, and like if I pitch against Blake, I'm going to try to beat the shit out of Blake and the Dodgers. It's what I'm trying to do, but at the end of the day, he'll still be a friend of mine. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. At the end, this is all weird. I'm sure there's more stuff that's going to come out with it.
Probably. When you heard he got $765 million, did you about fall out of your chair?
Yeah, I mean, I think I texted probably 10 people and said, that's a lot of fucking money. Like, holy shit. And isn't there a chance for more? It's 800 technically, right? Like,
yeah, he can opt out, and the Mets can keep him there by paying him an additional like $4 or $5 million or whatever it is per year. Yeah. But yeah, he can add another $50 million to that or something, or $40 million.
Right. And it's only going to keep going up. It's crazy to look at guys signing just a couple years ago. Like a guy like Bryce Harper signed for 300 something. You know, Aaron signed for whatever he signed for, and these guys are just going to keep breaking records. It's going to be, you know, I think it's awesome. I'm a player, so I think all players should get paid as much as they're worth. So it's cool to see.
All right. You've faced Juan Soto plenty. He was in your division for, you know, a year plus as well. What is he the best hitter that you've faced?
So those are hard. That's a hard question because I actually have done well against Juan until last year. I think
I'm talking to the Juan stopper. I love this.
No. I'm not
the Soto stopper. Here he is.
He's gonna come back and bite me. He's gonna hit a homer off me next year. This video is gonna come up. But no, I actually had done well before. I faced him when he's with the Nationals in 21 and 22. And then Padres end of 22, 23. So I had done well against them. And then this last year did not go well. Him and Aaron did some damage against me in Oracle Park. So, but yeah, I mean, he's obviously, that doesn't mean I don't think he's one of the best hitters I've ever faced. But I always go back to Mookie is probably for me the hardest guy.
Yeah. But what is it?
I hate admitting it. He knows it too. He said it in one of his podcasts.
Yeah, he did.
But yeah, he's probably, to me, the best hitter.
Yeah.
Personal experience wise.
Yeah, I get it. Speaking to the Dodgers, did you even watch any of the parade stuff? Did you see the clips? Or were you like, I have to avoid this stuff? I can't see it.
Yeah, I mean, I saw all of it. I think there was a clip of their podcast like every day for a month. So yeah, I saw a lot of it. But yeah, it's a good team. They beat the shit out of a pretty good team too. I mean, everyone knows how I feel about them. So it's a superstar team. They just added Blake too. It's going to be even harder to beat them next year.
Does it frustrate you, or what do you do?
No, it doesn't frustrate me. If I'd lost to them in like the NLDS or NLCS, then yeah, it'd probably make me even more mad. But quite frankly, we weren't even close to making the playoffs, so it doesn't frustrate me that much. Obviously, I don't want to see the Dodgers win, but that's just because I play for the Giants.
So I always appreciate your honesty a ton. I am curious, because I get this question from a lot of fans. With the way that salaries are going, you signed well before you hit free agency, and thankfully you got generational money, and Mila's going to be great, and your future kids they're awesome. Everybody's going to be great. Is there a little bit of you that when you see some of the contracts that are going to guys who aren't close to you in ability, where you sit there and you're like, damn it?
I knew you were going there with this. I mean, I knew going into it when I signed that. I mean, my agents are fantastic agents. Other people, like other guys that had signed contract extensions early in their career, they said, hey, just so you know, in a couple years, you might get a little, not mad, but just be like, man, maybe if I waited, I could have gotten this amount or this amount. But at the end of the day, like if I'm smart, which I think I am, I did set my family up for a long time. And, I'm going to be a free agent at 31 again. So I feel like, contracts nowadays, like some of these guys are 31 getting 8 years, $218 million. So it's, it's good. I think those are good things, right? And like I said,
right.
For me, also part of that goes back to, I'm excited when these guys get this amount of money. Like Max Fried deserves everything that he's got in that contract. Like that guy is a stud. That's a bulldog on the mound. Great human being. He's a lefty, which always helps, right? Seeing some of these guys, seeing what Corbin's going to get, it's going to be a lot of money. It's exciting. It's exciting as a player to get to see other players get paid and for what they've done. And, you know, as players, we wait 6 years to hit free agency, which is crazy, right? You think of, you know, other sports, right? They sign out as a rookie and they're there for 4 years. And I feel like NBA guys, they get their third contract by year 6. So it's, for me, it's cool. But yeah, there's always a little party that's like, man, maybe if I waited, I could have gotten this. But, you know, I'll always hopefully keep going the way I'm going. I think I'll have another crack at it too.
Yeah.
So,
dude, I mean, they're paying nothing against Frankie Montas, but they're paying him $17 million a year and they're praying he'll give him 140 innings. You led the National League in innings pitched. I'm just trying to help out a little bit to state the case in a couple of years. That's all. I'm Team Webb, you know.
I know you are. But like I said, every year it's just going to keep going up and up, which is a good thing, right?
Totally.
That's a great thing. So hopefully it keeps going. Hopefully it's up even more in 4 years when I'm a free agent, right? So, but at the end of the day, there's always little things that happen where, you know, I've said it in the past and I've always meant it, right? Like, I do want to be a Giant for life. So maybe in year 3 they come back to me and say, hey, we want to make you a Giant for life. So there's always little things. And, you know, maybe I never hit free agency. I mean, that's something that some guys tried to do. They don't want to hit free agency. They don't, you know, I don't think Brandon Crawford ever hit free agency. Buster never hit free agency. So, but I don't make those decisions. I could be traded tomorrow. Like, I don't think I will be, but I'm just saying it could happen, right? It's baseball. It's a weird game. It's a crazy sport. So, but yeah, to me, it's like, these guys getting paid is a good thing for baseball. It's a good thing for the guys, you know, Juan Soto signing that is helping guys in 5 years who are Juan Soto, right? 25 and a free agent. So it's great.
Yeah, forget about 5 years. Kyle Tucker is sending him bouquets of roses right now. Holy smokes. That guy, seriously, I think he made $100 million based on what Juan Soto just signed for. A lot of us thought it was going to, we'd be like, well, it's got to start with a 5. Like during the season, we're like, it's got to start with a 5. And then people are like, do you think he can get it to 6? And then do you think he can get it past There's no way he's going to get past Shohei. And then 765. Dude, I was at NFL Network Sunday night. And those are not baseball dorky fans. Maurice Jones-Drew was like, what did he sign for? I said $765 million, and it's all his, motherfucker. He ain't going to get any of it.
I saw a thing that I could be naming, it could be the wrong names, but it was like, I think it was Tom Brady and LeBron James combined.
Yeah.
It's like 762.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's crazy. That's nuts.
It is nuts. It's crazy. It's good, though. It's great for the sport. I'm happy for that.
It is great for the sport. It's great for, like I said, all these young guys that are going to be the next 25-year-old. I think him signing this will make it harder to sign the 20, 21-year-olds to contract extensions, even if it does start with a 3 or 4.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think there's certain guys, though, that will still be able to pry loose.
Yeah.
There's not going to be a lot of Ronald Acuna 8 years for 130. I'll tell you that. There ain't going to be a lot of those.
No.
No, won't.
I think even last year, the year before, there weren't going to be many of those.
Yeah, it's a good point. Couple more questions, and then I'll let you go back to being Papa. I love that. So when you annoyed Aaron Judge, I hate to circle back, but I'm curious. When you were texting Aaron Judge all the time, would he be like, hey, man, I appreciate you checking in, or did he say, hey, stop bothering me, weirdo?
No, Aaron's the best. He was like, he always said the same, like, yeah, man, like everything's going great. You know, San Francisco was great. It was like it was such a great answer. Looking back on it, he always had the best answers that made me feel like we had a chance every day. But even after he signed, I was like, man, congratulations. Everyone kind of knew if he was offered the captain of the Yankees, like, you don't leave that. You don't leave that.
No, he had equity there already.
Yeah.
All right. Who's been more miserable? Me as a Browns fan or you as a Raiders fan this year?
I'm going to go with you as a Browns fan because I think you guys had higher hopes.
Mm-hmm. Bingo. That's your best answer of the day because
I
it's
don't
right.
think. I would say as a Raiders fan, I obviously, I want them to be good, but I kind of knew. I think we have like the second or third youngest team in football. New coach. I think there's some question marks at the quarterback position. I think
some.
You have a franchise quarterback technically that is supposed to be.
Stop.
He's the highest paid quarterback in football. I think.
Stop it. He's the most guaranteed money.
Yeah,
it's the most guaranteed money.
So I would say definitely Browns fans are a little more disappointed.
Do you have any idea who the Raiders' last win came against?
Is it Cleveland Browns?
You're welcome.
And before that, it was the Baltimore Ravens, which I don't know. But, I don't know. It's hard because each week I hate this part of it because then I'm rooting for them to lose now because I want the number one pick, and that's so bad because
terrible.
Unfortunately, I felt like I've done this before, and I have, and I don't know what I want them to do either. Like, do you go Travis Hunter at one? I think he's a stud. I don't know.
He's a stud.
You go Travis Hunter. I love that quarterback. I do like the quarterback from Penn State, Allard.
Drew Allard.
You don't like him? I like him.
I do think that last week against Oregon, that was the best game I've seen him play. I saw some big boy moments in there.
Yeah.
But I think he could actually go back to school.
Possible.
I know. The thing is, I like Shador. I like some things he does. Cam Ward, I like some things that he does. But those guys...
And think about every quarterback, though, every year. There's always some question marks about whether they can do this or they can do that. I mean, this quarterback class was the class to pick quarterback. We just had the 13th pick instead of the 10th or 11th pick. But I mean,
moved up.
But Brock Bowers, I mean, that's why
awesome.
That's why a part of me wants Travis Hunter because I do think Hunter is going to play wide receiver in the NFL. Mm-hmm. I know he's trying to do both. I don't know if that works out nowadays, but if it's Hunter and Brock Bowers as your two guys, I think they have the second most cap space in football going into free agency. Guys want to go to Vegas. That's I don't know. Maybe you sign Sam Darnold, and maybe you sign Sam Darnold. You draft Travis Hunter. Could be different.
It's a thought. The problem is you just need to get the offense right. That is the thing. I don't know if Scott Turner's the answer is the OC there. You need, because Sam Darnold has gotten so coached up the last 2 years. Think of who his coaches have been.
Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan, Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah.
You cannot have a softer landing after a rocky road to begin your career than what Sam Darnold. So if you get out to Vegas and all of a sudden he's going to revert back to being what he was in New York and Carolina.
You don't want that.
You better
but
find.
Also, I mean, to me, it's I've looked at some of these free agent quarterbacks that have signed the last couple of years that were similar to the one that we signed this year, I don't know, Russell Wilson or Sam Darnold or Baker Mayfield. One of the years, it's man, why didn't we try to pick up any one of those guys?
You got Minshew Mania, man. Captain Jorts.
Oh man,
sorry.
That doesn't make sense to me. But
no.
I don't know. Maybe Shador's been in the plans the whole time.
All right, before we go, what are the jerseys I got behind you? What are Gossman?
Yeah. Evan Gossman, Taylor Rogers.
Yeah.
Manaya here.
Oh, maybe bring him back to San Francisco, by the way.
Yeah. Najee Harris.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
DeMontis Sabonis.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Dalton Jeffries. I got a Bo Jackson. Tyler Rogers actually got that for me at a, I think it was a charity dinner thing. He's like, "Hey, do you want this?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll take it."
Yeah.
Then I got old
Crawford.
man up here, right here.
That's awesome. What's your best Crawford story, and if it's a great one, I'm going to end the interview. Give me a really, really good one. Because I always found him as professional as can be, great locks of hair, always managed a beard perfectly, played his ass off, but I don't know if he was ever a wild, crazy, funny story guy.
I don't know if I have necessarily a wild or crazy story. Brandon's not one of those.
Yeah.
He's calm, he's quiet, he's everything you think he is. Like, Brandon's the man. He's quiet about it.
Okay. It's all right. Nothing wrong with that.
I don't know if I have any good stories. I mean, I do have it's between me and him that's funny, but we went golfing one time and it was just me and him, and we're both god-awful golfers. And I think we went through about 60 balls, but on the first hole, I think it was raining or something, so it was really just us on the course. And we both took 8 tee shots each off of the first hole, and neither of us got close to the fairway. It was bad.
Dude, that's not a breakfast ball. That's a breakfast, lunch, dinner, brunch, snack.
Everything. 8 balls, not one. We dropped right in the middle for 3, and we hit 3.
3? Sounds like there should have been a 1 in front of that 3.
Yeah, that was a tough day of golf, but we had a blast because it was just us, and we both stink, so it's like we're just playing for fun. But that was a good story. Me and him are very good beer pong, water pong, beer pong partners.
What do you think this is, kindergarten?
No, Craw has every year a great Super Bowl party. We've been for about 4 years now, so it's a blast. And usually by the end of the night, we're always playing a little beer pong, me and him. And sometimes his dad has played against us. The girls or his kids will play against us. They drink water, obviously.
Well, yeah, I got it. Yeah, that's fine. Age appropriate.
Yeah.
Age appropriate here on the Rose Rotation. Yeah. All right. Awesome catching up with you. I really appreciate the time. I know that between working out and, more importantly, being a new dad.
Yeah.
Oh, I hear her.
Yeah. She knows we're ending.
Oh, I hear her. So I just cost you 45 minutes of peace and quiet.
I know. She'd been quiet the whole time.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Tell her Uncle Chris is a jerk for taking Daddy's time, quiet time. So, it was awesome catching up with you. Enjoy your first holiday season with the entire family. I think that's awesome.
Thanks,
Stay in touch. We'll catch up at some point after the new year as you approach spring training, if that's cool.
Definitely.
Special shout out to our amazing producer, the one and only Robbie Scirocco. On behalf of the new proud papa but terrible college football recruiter, Logan Webb. I am Chris Rose. We will see you next time here on the Chris Rose Rotation, a production of John Boy Media.